From a Dallas courtroom tonight where Roy Oliver was sentenced to 15 years in prison. And of course, this is a trial that we have not just been following very closely here in North Texas, but across the country. And the reaction is coming in quickly via social media. This comment coming into us from Kevin Cushenberry Jr. Despicable that Roy Oliver will spend less time in jail than Jordan Edwards did alive. 15 years for murdering a 15-year-old. And this comment here from Heather Hefner. So he was sentenced to 1 year for every year Jordan Edwards was alive. Too bad he wasn't sentenced to 1 year for every year he could have lived if Roy Oliver wouldn't have killed him. But I am glad that it's more justice than most of these cops get. And we want to go now to Matt Howerton with more reaction from the sentence, 15 years in prison for Roy Oliver. Matt.
Yeah, Cynthia, we're in the parking garage right now that is next to the courthouse. And just moments ago, we spoke with Andrew Dunlap, who is the attorney representing Jordan Edwards' mother. And we were wanting to get reaction from him about this punishment phase and what has just been handed down by the jury. He was not happy whatsoever, but he was this is the only person, or we were the only people he talked to leaving the garage. So it's very important to talk about his reaction. He felt like the jury gave Roy Oliver a pass here and told us as much as he thought this was a slap on the wrist or even just a traffic ticket. And I believe we have some sound here that we took with him in our interview just moments ago. We'll let you listen.
Well, you know, obviously we're disappointed. And as I said to you before we went on air, I think that they did not value Jordan's life. This was about Jordan. This was not about this police officer. That police officer made that decision a year and a half ago, and now they're considering what the jury's sentencing to me says is that they're going to give Mr. Oliver a chance to redeem his life for what he did, yet my client has no son, nothing but an all-American kid, and he has nothing. They get nothing from this.
Again, that is Andrew Dunlap. He is the attorney representing Jordan Edwards' mom. He is representing her in civil action in connection to all of this. He says that's now going to resume now that this trial is over. But as you heard, a whole lot of frustration and a whole lot of discouraged feelings coming from that side of the family, from Jordan's mother. She was not here tonight, according to the attorney, Mr. Dunlap, but says he is speaking on her behalf, telling us that this sentencing phase, the sentence that was just handed down, was something he was not pleased with. Cynthia, John.
All right, Matt, and now we want to talk to our legal expert, Pete Schulte. He joins us by phone. Pete, one of the questions now is, will Roy Oliver appeal this sentence?
Oh, I think he will, Cynthia, and I think the fact is that I for the first time tonight, based on one of your reporters at Channel 8 for Bradley, was able to get a copy of the jury instructions for the guilt-innocence stage of the trial, and I feel like there's a defect in that particular jury charge. So, but it may be harmless now because based on the defect that I saw, he was sentenced within manslaughter, which is 2 to 20, which is a second-degree felony. He got 15 years. Now, I'll correct Bradley, and he's not a lawyer, but I'll correct him that he will be eligible for parole at 7.5 years. So it will only have to serve half the sentence before he's eligible for parole.
Well, that was, I think, so you've answered, I think, a question that a lot of our viewers have. Also, tonight, I'm curious, Pete, your thoughts on what the family of Jordan Edwards may think about the sentence that has now been handed down. You think that they're thinking that 15 years was enough? I get the sense from the attorney we just heard from that there's some disappointment in that.
Well, I would agree with that, John. I think they are not happy with the sentence, but you have to look at the totality of the circumstances. This was a police officer. He had no criminal history. He had a military background. The jury was struggling with that. We saw that through some of the notes that they put out this evening to the judge as they were deliberating the sentence. And I think that this is probably the right call for them, and it's up to the jury. I mean, we don't have a say. And basically, as we go forward with this, if the appellate courts remand this back for a new trial, what's interesting about this is he will be maxed out at 15 years unless there's extenuating circumstances later. So he doesn't have anything to lose by appealing this particular case. And I think there are some issues with the original jury charge.
All right, Pete Schulte telling us tonight about this sentencing that we're hearing. 15 years now, a $10,000 fine now for Roy Oliver. It looks like the minimum he would be serving could be, in fact, 7.5 years. We're going to take a short break right now. We'll be back with